Hello, popping in to say hello. I just love coming in here and sharing with you all what's going on. Insights, inspiration, some guidance. Sorry, I was cleaning my desk because I got ash. I was lighting some sage and I got ash all over because I have my window open, getting some fresh air in. And yeah, it's just I wanted to come on and share some stuff that has been coming through with spirit. A little teaching about intuition. Going to be teaching a little bit more. Hopefully, start doing that in person. I'm so excited to start doing more in person stuff. Still do virtual stuff, love it. But yeah, I posted about in service opportunities to work with me. It's been a long time coming. It's something I've been dreaming of for a while, and to start seeing it come to fruition is so amazing. And also still love virtual stuff. But anyhow, that's not the only reason I came on here to talk about. So where do I start? I've had a couple questions come in about how do you understand your intuition? And it's going to be different for everybody. So this is just through the lens that I have learned through. I will always share with you, but always remind you, you have your highest authority. What does authority mean? Understanding how you receive messages. You have the highest authority what to allow in your energetics, who you connect with in a spiritual level and a human physical level, correct? Yes. Some of us took time to understand this. We call it free will. I came to awareness to understand our authority because God has given us the authority to navigate our lives, to choose. We always have choice to choose the life that we are here to create. And through those choices, what creates our life experiences, our beliefs, what we receive, what we don't receive. And even though the world around us tries to tell us what we are and what we are not, who we are and who we are not, we give away our power. We give away our authority. Because at the end of our life, and I hate to say it that way, but I don't hate to say it that way. I'm sorry if it hurts your, this is just what's coming through. We are the only ones who can answer for our lived experiences, our choices in this lifetime. One of the things that I have seen in my readings over and over, and one of the things that I have learned through my readings for my choices and the way I honor my authority, right? And this is not to scare you, this is not to shame anybody, guilt anyone, but to also bring an awareness on how we are leading our life through our choices, coming back to love. And Spirit has shown me through this because this is part of our healing journey. Because I could tell you, I make mistakes. But when I make mistakes now with the knowledge and the experiences and the understanding and the awareness that I know, I am more mindful on the decisions, the words, the actions that I take. Didn't have that awareness in my earlier years. Didn't understand the understanding of free will and authority. I allowed the outside world, by choice, I had to be responsible for these choices to navigate and tell me who I am. So, with that being said, whew, muscle cramp again. So this is coming out of my body and through my energetics because there is still time where I let the outside world tell me who I am. Because it is a healing. It is a process. It is a journey and a practice to continue to build. And then when I feel my power, when I feel my authority or my energetics being, oh, what's the word I want to use? Depleted, I call my power back. I'm like, are these mine? Are these my emotions? If they are, okay, what are they telling me? And I observe them. I witness them without judgment, without criticism. Like, well, okay, what do I need to do with this? Is this an unprocessed emotion? And if it's really heavy, I always call, you know me, I always call my spirit team in on everything. I'm like, whoo, I need support because I know I can't do this alone. I know on my own strength and my own awareness, I cannot do this lived experience on my own. Sometimes I ask the people around me for support. I know there's support out there. And majority of the time I go to the world of spirit. I always go to the world of spirit. Not majority of the time. I do. I'm like, okay. And there's times I don't hear them. Doesn't mean they're not there. It means this experience I'm going through, there's something I need to learn, witness, feel, or support other people through. But I always pray, thank you for your strength. Thank you for supporting me as I walk through this situation, this experience, this whatever it is. Thank you, because I know it's there. I know I could rely and lean on the support of creation. I know this. It has gotten me through this life thus far. But now I'm being really intentional with it. Really strengthening my relationship with my higher power, with my spirit team. And it helps me walk in a better way through the rest of my life. Didn't say it was perfect. I still say shit off the wall, like, I should have caught that. But my mind was a little, my mouth was a little faster. This is okay. How can I be more mindful? How can I come back? And through this awareness, understanding your higher authority, understanding your intuition, right? Your intuition's your inner guidance system. Your intuition is dancing with the world of spirit because it's your higher spirit guiding you on a conscious level. Are you with me? And if you have any questions on the replay, please feel free to ask questions. I'm here to share what I know. It's not all be all and all. My awareness is continuing to evolve. This is where I am at in this moment. And spirit continues to evolve me. I shared on Instagram about what love, because last year, I'm not going to share the whole, this will probably come out later, not the whole experience, but spirit sees it all. They know what's coming up for you, and they will bring in signs and insights and inspiration for you. Sometimes we're too busy. This is why I always say, slow down, pause, connect back to yourself, clear the mind as much as you can, ground yourself, because spirit is sending you signs and synchronicities and inspiration and guidance almost all the time. But we're too busy to see it, right? So let's go back October, November. Quick story. I'm not going to try to be here too long because I know I could talk a lot. But I asked Spirit, because I've been developing, I know I'm going to always continue to evolve until I return home to Spirit. And I put a thought out to the world of spirits. And I'm like, okay, what more do I need to learn? Because I see this thread, right? And they brought in love. Like, ooh, you want me to learn more about love? Okay. What do I need to learn about love? And it was, what would love do? What would love hear? What would love say? What would love hear? What would love feel like? And I'm like, oh, okay. Through the end of the month of November, December, I'm incorporating love in everything. I started seeing more in my sessions what love and how love shows up through messages and guidance and reconnection, whether it's through your loved ones, seeing that thread of love touch their hearts and create this remembrance that their love is never separated, witnessing it, feeling it in those sessions. There's no denying it, right? Because you're going to feel it. That's what loved ones do. They come in and they bring in that remembrance of their essence of love. And you feel it in the readings because your heart is opening and it's healing through that grieving process. And then your soul, your spirit also remembers that love and that guidance of your loved ones, of your spirit team. And I've also seen it in an energetic level, like when we feel into our bodies, like when I do energy healing and I feel where the stagnicity or the heaviness is, or the illness or the pain, we bring love to it, and how love transmutes that energy back to light so that flow of energy can flow again, right? Sometimes it's emotion that's been stuck there. Sometimes it's a memory. Sometimes it's a projection or experience, and it's got trapped in that tissue or that energetic, and it shows up different parts of your bodies. So when we release that, I always call in the spirit. And what I've seen is how spirit brings love to transmute and bring love flow back into that area. Sometimes it's throughout your body. Sometimes you forget to bring that love back into it because it brings separation from our bodies to that, right? So love has showed me through energetically how love can transmute and restore our bodies, restore us back into our being, our truth, our remembrance. And then I've seen love transmute and bring clarity on stuff that we're too blind to see, through guidance, through your spirit team, through your angels, through your guides, through your ancestors. My ancestors have showed me so much medicine through love, through their sacrifices and their commitment, through their prayers to deliver to me, to remind me of the medicine that's within me. And I've seen it in other sessions too, when other people are connecting to their ancestors and remembering their medicine through the love of their ancestors. And I was just mind blown, like, oh, wow, this is so amazing. And then also seeing the love of our Creator God that runs through us, that's never separated. It's coming to the remembrance of that. And my prayers have come even stronger. Thank you, Creator God, for showing me and for allowing your love to flow in me and through me. Thank you for showing me how to reflect that love back to all those around me. How can I be a reflection of your love? And I was just like, oh, I love that because I feel it through me, right? So love has really evolved in my life. I have love for myself that I have never loved. I love every part of myself. I don't look at my flaws as, oh, I got to do this, right? I witness it. And when those memories come back, those judgments, I'm like, oh, what would love do? I've talked about this before. Close your eyes, because we are our worst critics sometimes, because the egoic mind, the memory mind of our lived experience will jump in and tell us, you had this experience, you were neglected, you were denied, you were abandoned, you were all the stuff, right? You can't change the past. Stop looking in the past. And I know it's hard because has been something I've been working through on myself, right? I've been really working on not looking in the past. And when the memory comes up, so okay, I'm going to witness this. What is this showing me? Oh, I'm being attached to the past experiences. And I bring love back to it. And sometimes I have to sit in it. And I'm like, oh. And I witness it. It's not perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. We can bypass it because then it's not going to serve you, because it's going to show up again. And it's going to be compounded because you avoided it. No avoidance. It's no more time for avoidance. So Spirit brought that in. An experience came in where I had to embody this love. Truly come back to love. And what does love mean? Does the love mean excuse behaviors? Does love mean... No. Love, true love, the divine love. Because if we look at love, what does love mean? And we go to our higher source, right? We ask for forgiveness. It's granted to you freely. We ask God for insight, unconditional love. What does that mean? And we're a reflection of this love, right? So love sometimes means boundaries. Love sometimes means creating compassion, forgiveness. And forgiveness is a form of love. We go freely to God and ask God, please forgive our sins. What is sin? For me, sin is man-made, but forgive the decision I made. Forgive the experience of the words that came out of my mouth. And it's so freely given to us. So why are we so hard on ourselves to forgive ourselves? First and foremost, we can't give what we don't give ourselves. So know that love is forgiveness. Forgiveness is love, a form of love. And trusting and forgiveness, this is what Spirit's showing me. Forgiveness is having faith that and trust and releasing that energetic to your higher power. Knowing I don't want to be attached to this. It's not my energetic cord to carry. Right? Does that mean allowing injustice? No. No. Ask your guides, ask Creator. What does this mean for me? How do I show up in love? I showed examples like when the protests were happening. I'm not going to let the fear-mongering of this freaking administration to lower my standards to theirs. And that's what they want. Oh, you see Spirit? That's Spirit. So come back to love. What does love mean for you? And allow Spirit to allow that love to evolve. If that means calling in your loved ones because they were a form of love for you, call them in. My grandfather showed me unconditional love. So when I need unconditional love, I call in my grandfather. I'm like, Pops, Abba, I need to feel your arms around me. Thank you for reminding me of the unconditional love that I am. And how can I share that unconditional love to others? So love has been helping me navigate stickier moments in my life. It's not always easy. It's a practice, and I come back to it, especially when it's really heavy. But I know that love is there. And giving love to yourself, right? And then recently, when I get triggered, I'm like, okay, how can I regulate my nervous system? I know deep breaths, taking that life force energy and taking a breath. And when I did that, Spirit gifted me. Breathe in and say, God is, and then exhale, I am. And I was like, ooh, God is. So practice that. God is, I am. And I took it a little step further and I said, okay, God is love. I am love. God is love. I am love. Because you are the I am that is in God, Creator. And when I need to lean into trust, I go, God is trust. And I take a deep breath. And then I exhale, I am trust. God is worthy. I am worthy. Whatever you need. God is faithful. I am faithful. God is forgiving. I am forgiving. And it regulates. Feel how that feels in your body. Ground into it. Spirit will gift you different support, different guidance. If there's an area in your life that you need to bring healing, ask Spirit to support you on that. Gift yourself that. You can't change the experience, but you can change the connection you have to that experience. You could bring healing to that. And that's what I'm going through right now. I'm bringing healing through different layers that have been restricting me to loving myself fully, right? I love myself fully, but there's little threads. I'm like, ooh, that's showing up. I'm responding. I'm being triggered. I'm going into my mind space instead of my heart space. Spirit, help me through this. And Spirit shows up. I'm seeing this in my sessions. I had a session a couple of days ago, and I got this new soul path activation. It's my hybrid reading. It's a little plug, sorry. And because I've witnessed in my readings the energetics, because I see energy, I feel energy. And spirit's like, slow down. So in this, in my readings, especially in this, in the spirit readings, you can only receive what you are allowed to digest. And if you have energetic blocks, you're not going to fully receive messages from the world of spirit, whether it's your loved ones, because sometimes messages, there is some wounds that sometimes our loved ones leave behind, and they're trying to bring in healing, but because there's block in your energy, you're not fully going, it's going to be a thread. So spirit has showed me they're like, blend the two. I'm like, why? They're two different modalities, they're different, two different experiences. And they showed me it's a blending, there's no separation. And I'm like, oh, they're like, if they really want to fully receive the messages from the world of spirit, you got to take off the first layer of blocks. And I'm like, ooh, okay. So the soul path activation is 20 minutes of clearing any blocks in where you're at right now to receive the messages. And the second part is this, the spirit reading, the soul guidance of what you need in that moment, whether it's a question, a connection to your loved ones, to fully receive it through a healed space, and to clear some blocks that may be blocking you to receiving the healing that you need. So just talking about soul path readings, I'm going to post something about it later, but yeah. And so spirit continues to evolve my gifts and evolve my offerings to support humanity, to support my sitters, my clients on their journey forward, because I've walked that path, right? I can't offer you what I haven't walked through, right? I can't offer you astrology. I could give you nits and pieces of what I gain, like the full moon coming up. I work with that energy. I go in and I look, and okay, what does Sagittarius, because it's a full moon in Sagittarius, and I will be posting about this in a little bit, but understanding how this energetic moon cycle is going to support you on releasing the limiting beliefs. It's really asking you to step into your authority, to dream big. Sagittarius is about movement and adventure and creating a new way. And if you have blocks on your creativity or feeling that you're not creative, let's release that shit. This moon is going to support you on that, right? But I can't give you an astrology reading because that's not my, it's not my expertise. It's not what I studied under. But I could tell you, like, when people like get a reading, I'm like, are you a Cancer? And they're like, yeah, how do you know? I'm like, because I feel you are very emotional, and Cancer is part of that intuitive emotion, right? So there's different parts that astrology will pop in because spirit is showing to me, but to sit there and read somebody's chart, yeah, or your human design, I know when spirit brings me stuff, like I know I'm a projector, I could get my 8 hour work done in 4 hours because that's just what projectors do, and we need more rest. So there's different insights that I could bring through. I do study a little bit of it, but I'm not like an astrologer, nor will I ever claim unless I take up the studies of that. But I will be like, this is what spirit's showing me with the signs and my awareness around that. And then I would guide you to someone who knows those modalities. But I'm very transparent in my readings because that's just how we are, right? This is how we should navigate our lives, is being transparent. What we are receiving, how we're receiving it, where we're receiving it from. That's just how I navigate my sessions. So in my sessions, you're going to experience compassion. I'm very trauma aware. I'm very mindful of, and I talk to my spirit team, I do no harm. I want words and translations to support them on their healing journey through love. Love is foundational in my readings and the remembrance of your journey, right? So you will experience the compassion, the kindness, the sacredness in those readings, and that soul level connection to spirit connection with your loved ones, with your angels, your guides, and reminding you of your higher authority, right? Knows for me, like when I'm bringing in a message and the evidence is like, no, okay, I'm not receiving, and we're not translating it in the way that you understand it, because it's like they're showing me through my lived experience and you haven't lived my experience. But no's for me is a redirection. And okay, Spirit, they're not receiving this message correctly. Can you show me another way? Can you explain another way? And 98% of the time, they're yes. And sometimes no's for me, no, I'm not trying to prove myself, but no's are something that is not in your remembrance. And so I'll have you pocket it. I'm like, just put it in your pocket and it's going to show up for you later. And 99% of the time, they're messaging me back. They're like, oh yeah. I'm like, Spirit knows how to deliver messages. I'm just a channel for the world of Spirit. That's it. And to remind you, right? I'm a channel for the world of Spirit to remember your medicine, remember your connection, and to have that transparency of your authority, of your connection, and how you will leave learning how to connect with Spirit, how to look for signs, right? To be curious. You could ask your loved ones, send me a sign that you are near me. You could even pick your own sign. Some people pick birds, sometimes people pick songs. Be unique with it so you know what it is, right? Like my grandfather bringing an elephant cloud. No one knew that I love elephants. Now you know. Spirit knows exactly what you need. Allow those signs to show to you when you need that support. And when you don't see that sign, doesn't mean that support's not there. It just means there's just like a filter drop into your heart, or you're relying too much to be like, oh, am I connected to my loved ones? Nothing separates you from your loved ones. Nothing. But they understand your lived experience because they lived in this life. They had this physical. So they honor your grievances. They honor your grief. But they want you to remember your connection. Right? So if you get a sign through songs, through someone saying something, or hearing their name, or through a dream, know these are visitations. And I've been having visitations lately. And I'm like, okay, if you want me to read for your loved one, bring them to me. Right? I always bring it back to the world of Spirit. How can I serve you? Who would you have me speak to? What would you have me say? I do that before I come on lives. I would say, okay, Spirit, how do you want me to channel your message today? And what I'm sharing with you is through channel with messages with the world of Spirit, right? There's some things I'm like, do you really want me to share this? I'm like, okay, sink into my heart. I'm like, okay, am I ready to share this? Because it's my authority. They're not going to force me, but I open my heart to the world of Spirit. And when they bring me insight, I know what to say, not to say. I'm very discerning. I'm not oversharing. Sometimes I did. I sometimes overshared. I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have shared that. But that's how I navigate. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to bring this discernment in, right? Spirit brings it that thread of inspiration. And I'm like, okay, how can I channel this? Okay. And I talk about my lived experiences. I talk because I can't share what I haven't experienced. My readings, my insight, my connection with the world of Spirit. And it's going to be different for you. And I invite you to take moments throughout your day. I'm going to leave you with this before I pull a card. Of learning your intuition, because they are threads. They are whispers from heaven. Your heaven from within. Heaven resides within us. Your divine source is within you. That sacred garden. How do you honor that? You honor your intuition. Take moments throughout the day. 5 minutes. If you could go on social media, you could watch this live, you could do it, all the stuff. You could go on the phone and talk to someone or text somebody. You could take 5 minutes for yourself to connect back to yourself. If you want, put your hand on your heart. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, my Spirit, for connecting me back to my intuition. What does my intuition sound like? What does it feel like? What does it want me to know? And just witness it. Now, if it's making you contract and all these fears and doubts and worries and anxieties come in, that's not your intuition. That is your mind. That is the egoic mind. There's two differences. Be very discerning. Learning your discernment is very important. right? Sometimes we navigate life through our egoic mind, through old memories, through old traumas, through old whatever, right? We react, we respond, we self-soothe, all the stuff. Slow it down, bring it back. Cause and effect, right? That's a whole different subject. I'm not going to go into that right now, Spirit. So come back to your intuition. Okay, what does my intuition feel like? And then ask a question. And it feels supportive. Your intuition will feel supportive. It won't make you contract. It will make you expand. You'll feel it through your body. You may hear it. You may see it. You may just know it. These are your intuitions. These are your sensitivities, your clairs, right? And learn, it's a muscle. You need to build that muscle and learn to trust it. How do you sound? Do you listen to yourself? Do you trust yourself, right? Got to learn how to trust yourself. This is why I talk about, and I talk about the voice. Our words are powerful. How we speak to ourselves, first and foremost, is power. The power of the tongue. Learn to speak to yourself in a good way. Learn to trust your words. Trust yourself. And if you need support, call in your higher power. Call in Creator God. Call in your angels, your guides, your loved ones. Right? And take moments throughout the day to connect back to self. Right? That's one way to connect to your intuition. It's a muscle. You're going to build it. We've had it through all our lifetime. It's learning to trust it again. Because through our lived experience, we learn not to trust our heart. We learn not to trust our intuition, our intuitive guidance. I know I didn't. There was moments where it was like, yeah, this feels right. I'm going to do it. And then where intuition was giving me inspiration or insights, and it wasn't what I wanted to receive, I ignored it. And then when a situation or action or something happened, I'm like, I saw that. I should have, could have, would have. I'm not going to live with the should have, could have, would have anymore. Sometimes we gaslight ourselves, especially if it's something really important, personal. It's good to follow, like, it's easier to follow intuition when it's not so personal. But when it's impersonal and it's not the guidance that we think we need, because Spirit sees all, and we could gaslight ourselves. And then you look back and you're like, yeah, I should have followed that vibe or that gut instinct. That's your intuition. That feeling that you get, that, how did I know that? Is this what it's learning to trust it and taking little action steps. And then forgiving yourself, being graceful with yourself when you don't. Be like, okay, I'm going to listen to a little bit more. I'm going to reconnect to myself. I'm going to reconnect to the kingdom of heaven within my heart. That sacred garden. Thank you for helping me build, setting those intentions. Remember, your intentions, your prayers is the anchor, right? That anchors you back to Spirit. That's your direction. That's your authority. So come back to that. How do you want to live your life? You get to choose to follow your intuition or follow your egoic, fearful mind. Your choice. And I'm going to put a saying that Spirit gave to me. And I'm going to say it right now. Love and love alone creates life. Fear and fear alone creates the darkness of separation. You get to choose. And when Spirit gave me that, I was like, whoo! So I'm going to leave you with that. So I hope you have, I've been only here for 35 minutes. Yay! But that's what Spirit has been bringing through me, through my lived experience. I get to choose the life I create for myself. We're here to live an abundant life in all forms. In all forms. What does abundance mean for you? What does abundant of love mean for you? And our loved ones, what Spirit is showing me is that our loved ones wants us to live our life fully through love. And when we live and honor our lives, we honor them. They're still living life with us and through us. So when you celebrate life, when you have a celebration, honor them. Thank them. Put their picture up. Put their favorite drink up. Put their favorite scents, put their favorite music up. Dance like they would dance, because they're dancing with you. They're celebrating with you. And in those moments of loneliness, of separation, missing them, because we will miss them. We miss their touch. We miss their essence, right? Hearing their voices. And sometimes we hear their voices. My grandpa talks to me, he's like, Graciela, come back and say thank you. Because they're honoring your phases of life. They don't want you to stay stuck. They're like, how can I support you? I see it through my mediumship readings. And just seeing that thread of that healing, that, oh, thank you. That message. Those curiosities, like, what have they witnessed? I always ask spirit, when loved ones, when I'm in a reading, like, what have you witnessed since you returned home to spirit? And my intentions for the readings and all my readings, whether it's energy, mediumship, spirit guide readings, my soul path readings, group readings, breath work, and energy healing, is to be anchored in love. To come back to remembrance of love, whether it's your love for yourself, the love of spirit, love of Creator God, love of your ancestors, love of Mother Earth, embodiment of love, because it's all one. That's what it's anchored in. Anchor yourself back to, what does love mean for you? And how can you be a reflection of that love back to your communities, to your loved ones, to yourself, to the plants, to the animals? Because we are creating this life together, honoring our individuality, but also honoring our unity, knowing that we are all walking our path to understanding our relationships with the world of spirit, with love, with Creator God. And that's our own journey to walk. There's going to be similarities, there's going to be unities, there's going to be understandings and non-understandings. Wow, that's when we understand and honor ourselves, and when someone has their own practices, that's theirs. It doesn't make it wrong or right. That's for them. That's between them and Creator God. We have moved away from that. But that's a whole different conversation. Sorry, I could talk. But I just want to leave you with a message from the world of spirit. Let's see if the same card comes out that came out on my Instagram live. Oh, that was way too many cards. I was being sloppy with that. So this is Angels and Ancestors. You know how I feel about this. My hair, the wind is windy. I have my window open. Spirit, thank you. Angels, Ancestors, for reminding us of your presence. Thank you for revealing to the collective here in Facebook group in Graceful Healing what they need to know that will support them today on their way forward. What is the message for today? Snake medicine, shedding the old skin. There's so much power in snake medicine. I remember growing up and being afraid of snakes because the Bible said this, that Satan worked through the snake and bit Adam and Eve. So I was always terrified of the snake. But now, in my awareness now, the snake medicine comes in a different way. It's showing me how beautiful transformation is, how beautiful of letting go and surrendering the old. And if we just look at the snake, right, every year it grows and it sheds the skin, right? It leaves it behind and it creates this beautiful shimmery skin of growth and new. And that's what we are here. That's what snake medicine is here, is whatever is not serving you, whatever is not supporting your growth, whatever is blocking you, let it go. Release it. Allow snake to shed the skin. Like snake, there's so many things in nature that it just so freely releases it because it's their natural nature to let it go. Look at trees. Every season, like the season comes around, fall. Why is it called fall, autumn? The leaves fall away. It doesn't hold on to the leaves. It just lets it go with gratitude. Thank you for your lessons. Thank you for your teachings. But I'm going to create space for the new. So take this snake medicine moving forward, which is The new moon or the full moon coming up is about release what no longer serves you. So know that you are being supported. They just Spirit just dropped that inspiration, like, oh, we're on the 3 day cusp of the full moon coming in, looking at without judgment, without criticism, without attachment. What can I release in this season right now? Oh, I got full body shivers. What is not supporting me? Write it down. I will write a ritual on how, or a practice on how to release. Writing it down and then reading it out loud energetically is getting it out of your body. So release it. Shed the old skin. Create space for the new. What are you going to bring in for this new season? Stepping into your power, stepping into your authority, and creating with the world of spirit, creating the life you love, the life you want to live. No one else gets to make that decision for you. You are responsible for your life lived. I hope this supports you. And maybe we'll pull some cards on. I'm having a pretty busy weekend, so maybe Monday or Tuesday we could pull some cards. Probably Monday. I'll post on how to pulling cards. So I'm at my 45-minute mark. I stayed under an hour. So hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. I hope this guidance with the world of spirit supported you. Know that I honor and support you and love you. Sending you so much gratitude for being part of Graceful Healing, witnessing my growth, witnessing my truth. I hope it inspires you to understand your truth and know that you are loved, you are supported, and you do not walk this path alone. Have a beautiful day.